Cool. Zank, how are you, bro?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. So first, tell me a bit about yourself. How old are you, and how long have you been inside the real world?
I'm 21. I've been in the real world for about 2 years or so. I first joined not too long after I found out that my, at the time, girlfriend, now fiance, was pregnant. I was kind of stuck in a pretty shit job. Not shit, but like, it wasn't the best. I was
Just
doing
scraping
like some,
by, paying the bills, scraping by.
yeah, exactly. And even when I was in high school, I never wanted to go to college, so I never did. But I never really found the right path outside of that
Hmm.
until I ended up seeing some Andrew Tate videos on YouTube, and eventually I ended up joining the real world, and it's been extremely helpful.
Wonderful, G. Wonderful. And what campus are you in, bro?
The social media and client acquisition campus.
Nice. And who's your professor?
Uh, Dylan Madden.
Dylan Madden.
I
Nutmeg. All
Yeah,
right.
I
Nice.
I had tried out some uh, some freelancing myself beforehand, like just doing random stuff locally, but I never really got anywhere with it because
Hmm.
I just didn't know what I was doing. But that campus really gave me a direction to go, and it really helped me figure out how to move forward and really build something.
Wonderful, G. Wonderful. So you've joined this campus now. Tell me some things, give me three examples of, stuff that Dylan has taught you inside that campus that have helped you in terms of growth.
Yeah. I mean, the main one, and this might sound kind of silly, is reaching out to clients.
Hmm.
Before I ever joined the campus, I'd never even like that had never even crossed my mind. I was just like doing ads on YouTube and putting out like flyers and handing out business cards and stuff. I never actually went and reached out to businesses to work with them before. That was probably the biggest, most important thing. Everything else is kind of small lifestyle stuff that just made my life better, helped me improve on that path. But the idea of actually reaching out to clients helped massively.
Yeah.
And also just learning about social media and how to use social media and how to use it for my clients and for myself, that has been massively helpful as well.
Wonderful, bro. Wonderful. And you say you've been in the real world for, just under 2 years, is it?
Yes.
Cool. And how long did it take for you to make your first penny back after joining the real world?
Um, it's if I remember correctly, it was a couple of days.
Wow.
When I first joined that campus, now he's split the campus in half between the SMCA and the side hustle campus. But when I first joined, it was just the freelancing campus, and flipping was a part of it. So I immediately started with flipping, and I think I ended up selling an old Nintendo DS for like 170 bucks within like a week of joining, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. So instantly you started to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Nice. And where are you at now? How much have you made since you've been in the real world?
From my freelance business, I've made a little over $10,000. I don't really remember how much I made from flipping, but it was well into the thousands as well. I haven't been doing it in a while though.
Wonderful, bro. And can you explain to me your typical day inside the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the first things I do after I wake up and I have some coffee and I get my daughter breakfast is I just log into the campus, post good money bag morning, uh, and then I go outside for a while. I like to get a lot of sunlight, stand around outside, and I listen to some of the audio lessons before I get started working. And typically that means doing cold calls, editing client videos, or going to shoot content for clients because I work with a lot of local businesses. Typically, I don't spend much time physically in the app now as much as I used to,
Hmm.
because most of my time is focused on my clients now that I have them.
Yeah.
But what time I do spend in the app is usually spent either, like I just said, going through some of those lessons and audio courses, or helping out some of the beginners in some of the chats, especially at night before I go to bed.
Wonderful, bro. We're talking about your clients. So what is it that you actually do for these clients?
Yeah, I do content creation and content management for martial arts gyms. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, so For most of them, it means that I am planning out social media content ideas for them and then going into their location to shoot that content for them, or having them shoot the content and then editing their content and scheduling it for them and posting it for them.
Nice. And was it something that you had an interest in yourself, this martial arts, or was it something that, just randomly appeared to be a good niche for you?
No, martial arts is something that I've been interested in for a while. I've been doing karate since I started high school, and I recently started judo, so I've had a lot of experience and awareness of it for a while.
Good for
But
you.
it wasn't until the last like 2 months or so that I actually started working with martial arts gyms. Beforehand, I had tried a whole bunch of different niches, and none of them were working out the same way.
Good for
And
you.
I think that my previous experience and understanding of martial arts helped a lot, especially
Yeah.
since I don't just do martial arts, I teach it. So
Yeah.
I work for a school teaching martial arts, so I have a pretty good understanding of how that works on both ends.
So you already had a knowledge for martial arts, so you already knew how to kind of sell to that sort of niche,
Right,
which
exactly.
which is great. And how did you find them clients? Did you find them by cold call? How did you find these people?
Yeah, most of them I do cold calling. So I go onto Google Maps, look for businesses nearby, and I just start going on their websites, going through their social media pages, looking at what they're doing, and then I call them.
Hmm.
I also hired somebody probably about a year ago now
Yeah.
to do outreach for me online. So he uses my Instagram account and an email address that I set up for him to reach out to businesses online. So I'm not just working with local businesses, but also building relationships with businesses all over the country and all over the world.
Good for you, bro. I'd love to hear it. And how do you plan to grow your agency as such? How do you plan to grow that?
Yeah. Right now, my focus is on enhancing the quality of work that I'm producing for my clients because I'll be honest, up until very recently, I haven't been getting really incredible results, results, but not like anything amazing. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to work on enhancing that right now while I get a couple of new ones.
Okay.
And then the plan is to build up those clients that I already have to higher paying retainers as I'm getting them better and better results.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and over time, build up a few more, ideally, probably between 5 or 10 clients. I don't think I could personally handle much more than that.
Yeah.
And then start to expand from there into hiring new people.
Yeah. Cross that bridge when you get to it, sort of thing.
Right.
Cool.
Exactly.
I'd love to hear it. So give me three main things that Dylan has taught you himself. It could be anything. It could be in terms of a skill. It could be a mindset thing. Give me three examples of something that Dylan's taught you inside the campus, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the biggest one, like I said, was outreaching. I never even thought about it. So outreaching was a really big one. Also, this might sound silly, hydration. Uh, I think that the vast majority of people are severely dehydrated, and
Exactly.
he constantly hammers that in. So I'm much better about that now.
Uh-huh.
Um, and consistency, definitely. Because his mindset around consistency is a little different from what I've heard from other people, and it
Yep.
helped me a lot.
Yep.
Which is, you're not always going to perform at 100% every time,
Yep.
but constantly showing up, constantly trying to be that 100%,
Mm,
whether it's at 100%, 80%, 70%, any amount of progress and effort is better than doing nothing.
absolutely. And what would you say in terms of value? Would you rate the real world from 1 to 10? 10 being absolutely, unbelievably valuable, and one being not valuable at all. Where would you rate the real world?
Um, I would say it depends entirely on the person doing it. If you are going to put in effort, if you are going to genuinely try and utilize this tool to the best you possibly can, then it is a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic.
Hmm.
But if you're lazy and you're not going to do it, then nothing's going to help you. You
Yeah,
know,
fair comment, bro.
um, yeah. I think that you get whatever value you get out of it is determined entirely by how much work you put into it.
Hmm. Have you met anyone inside the real world that you socialize with, or have done any, have learned a skill from, or maybe not a professor, maybe someone just like yourself? Is there anyone that you've helped or they've helped you? And how do you find the social aspect of the real world?
Yeah. I mean, I'm constantly talking to students in different chats, working with other people, helping them because I'm a little bit more experienced in it now,
Hmm.
but also just asking for help, stuff like that. I've spoken to a few people in the DMs. I actually did a podcast with a fellow student a little while ago. I think that it is a very, very good way to find, like you said, it is social. So it's a very good way to find other people who think the same way that you do, who can help you, who kind of understand the path you're on.
Absolutely like-minded people, birds of a feather flock together, as they say. So,
Right.
I think a brotherhood is important, and having soldiers around you is important who are on the same mission. And for me, I'll be honest, I find that in my mind, that's one of the most valuable points of the real world. You know,
Hmm.
it's hard to come along people these days that are like-minded because we live in a world now that's full of different kinds of people, and a lot of people aren't even approachable these days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, it's lovely to hear you smashing it. And you know, have you ever been in any other campuses other than this campus, or has it always been Dylan?
Yeah, yeah, I have. I spent a little bit of time in the content creation campus, and I'm still technically in the fitness and health campus.
With Alex?
Um, yeah, uh, I like I like his stuff a lot. It's been very helpful in improving my obviously my fitness and my health.
Hmm.
And the content creation campus I did find pretty valuable for a while, but I kind of realized that the best way to get really good at something is to be focused. So I decided to just focus completely on the SMCA
Hmm.
and 100% put my efforts into learning and being better at social media because
Yeah.
I already have that content creation skill. I'm not, the best at it, but I'm certainly not the worst. I've had formal training in it in high school and I've had tons and tons of experience in it. So most of the stuff that I was getting out of the content creation campus was just like a couple of little tricks here and there that were definitely helpful, but ultimately I thought it was best to just focus. So that's what I'm doing.
Did you make any mistakes when you were, acquiring your clients? Was there any mistakes you made that you'd maybe tell others not to make who are joining the campus?
Of course I did. Everybody does.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if
My
there's any mistakes, you're a liar, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't. I don't think that I made any glaringly horrific mistakes,
Hmm.
except I think maybe I had an issue of taking on a bit more than I could handle at once, a little too quickly. Um, and I don't mean that in like a way, in like some sort of a, oh, I felt very stressed out way. I've never really experienced, um, I've never felt an issue with stress, but I think that there was a point where I took on a lot of clients with a lot of work that I was not ready for, and I
Hmm.
ended up doing pretty poor work for them, and that was really bad.
Yeah.
So I decided to focus on improving my skill set and make sure that I'm getting really, really good results before I start to lean more into trying to get more and more people involved. So I think that might be the only mistake that I can think of. But even then, I don't really consider that a mistake, just a good opportunity to learn your own limits.
Would you recommend being part of one campus or multiple campuses at once?
Uh, well, I would recommend being a part of one campus at the start because, like I said, it's really important to be focused. But over time, similar to martial arts, actually, at first it's really good to be focused on one thing. But over time, as you get really good at it, you can start to learn more from other things,
Hmm.
and you can use them to enhance what you're already doing as long as you stay focused. So, for someone who's just starting out, yeah, definitely focus on just one campus.
Okay,
For
that's
someone
what
who's been
that was
around
going to
for a
be my
while,
next question. I'm glad you answered
yeah,
that. That's going to be my next one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. So stick to one campus, learn a
hmm
skill there, and concentrate on that until you monetize
yeah,
it. Is that what you'd say?
exactly, yeah. And you can pick up little things here and there from other places if you happen to find that there's like a specific thing that might be helpful from somewhere else. But as long as you stay focused on one business model, that's really the key. Because if you're starting to like try an SMCA business and stocks and NFTs and all the other stuff, you're just going to be too distracted and too all over the place. It's like TikTok brain.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. And what did you do? If you don't mind me asking, what did you do? Like, what was your job before you joined the real world?
Yeah, I actually kind of did the same thing I already do. I was creating social media content for a construction company.
Hmm.
But it's interesting. I've noticed that I think construction companies, for some reason specifically, tend to expect me to be able to run their social media and build their website
Yeah,
and make tons of stuff for them and do basically everything that relates to their online presence for minimum wage. And
wonderful.
that got really irritating really quickly, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um,
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. And where do you plan to, carry yourself with what you're doing inside that campus? Like, what's next for you in terms of like upscaling or growing your business? What's next for you, and how do you think the real world's going to help you with that?
mhm. Well, right now, my primary goal is to make enough money on a monthly basis to move my fiance and my daughter into our own place to live independently. Um, at the moment, where I'm actually getting relatively close to that, just working on enhancing the quality of the work I'm doing for my clients so that I can retain them longer and I can build stronger rapport with them and I can build stronger social proof to get new clients, slightly
Yeah,
higher retainers. Um, once I'm settled at a solid 5,000 a month, then I'll work out from there what the next step is.
what would you say to someone who might say to you, well, you can learn all this stuff on YouTube, so why would I join the real world for $50 a month when I can learn this stuff on YouTube? What would you say to them?
I think I tried to learn this stuff on YouTube and I couldn't.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think that might just be a load of nonsense.
Yeah.
Um, But even if there isn't any new technical information that you could get out of it, there is a benefit of having that community aspect and also having access to a professor who is highly skilled in whatever you're learning,
Yeah.
who has tons of experience and clear, obvious success in it, who knows what they're doing and can guide you along that path,
Yeah.
because you can learn the technical principles of something, but
Mhm.
then you're working on it and you end up coming across a problem. Maybe you can work it out yourself, maybe you can't. Sometimes you need help. Having somebody like that who you can talk to and get direct help from is extremely valuable. I can't even remember how many times I've been totally stuck on what to do. Like I've had some sort of issue and I had no idea how to move forward with it. And I talked to Dylan about it and he was able to make it super simple
Yeah.
and really obvious what I need to do next.
So Dylan's just helped you to simplify it, condense the nonsense, as I say, and
Yeah, yeah,
move
exactly.
forward. Yeah, that's brilliant, bro. That's brilliant. And you know, is you've already given me advice for new students, but
Mhm.
are you learning more and more every day? Would you say you're learning more and more every day, or would you say that you're learning new things as you go along inside that campus?
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely learning more and more as I go. Like I said, my current focus is on improving the quality of work I'm doing for my clients. The way that I've been doing that is just researching
Yeah,
different successful people. But I learned how to do that research from Dylan. I learned how to figure that stuff out and what to look for through the real world. And I'm constantly taking what I learn, going into the real world, talking to people about it, and just learning more and more from that so
yeah.
that I can improve constantly. Um, I don't even necessarily think that it's always about constantly learning, but constantly improving.
Okay,
So even if I'm not technically learning anything new, I'm getting better at doing the things that I need to do.
absolutely, absolutely. And what would you rate Dylan out of 10 in terms of being a professor? Be honest.
Hmm.
It's all right, bro.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
I I rate Dylan very highly. I
I
do.
definitely have to. I definitely have to say a 10. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, the only thing that kind of bugs me sometimes
Yeah.
is that sometimes he explains stuff a little too well and too
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Because I know, and maybe this is just a me thing. Most people, this probably helps a lot.
Mhm.
Personally, I I tend to be able to understand complicated things and make them really simple for myself. A lot
Yeah.
of people have a hard time with that, so he does that for people. He'll sit there and explain a really complicated thing
Mhm.
into a lot of detail to make it really simple,
Yeah.
and that helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
Personally, it moves a little slower than sometimes I'd like, but
Okay.
Yeah, he's really incredible.
Do you know what, bro? That's a very honest review. And you know, bro, every single person is learning every day. It doesn't matter who you are, what level you're at.
Mhm.
Everyone can improve. Everyone can do better. You know, it's
Yeah,
simple as that. But no, I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that you're progressing. And you know, if there's anything that obviously the real world could do to help you, I'm sure that they'll help you inside as well.
yeah,
And you know, I'm glad that you found people in there who are like-minded as well. And you're smashing it, bro. You're a young dad. You know, you've got no choice but to win. You've got no
yeah,
choice when you're a young dad. A bit like myself.
exactly.
I was a young father, bro. You know, I was a father at 22, so
Mhm.
I know exactly what boat you're in. And I never really started taking off. It took me till my kid was about 7 or 8 before I started making proper money, bro. So you're
Mhm.
definitely on the right path. And honestly, my hat comes off to you, mate, because a lot of men who have kids young, they don't really care as much as you. So
Mhm.
honestly, it's really lovely to see, and I hope you honestly smash it. And I want to come back. I'm going to be watching your progress as well. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
thanks for your time. Honestly, Zach, I'm really grateful that you came on. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, G. See you soon. Bye, brother.
Bye.